Here's what we're talking about on Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Could the Mavericks sign Klay Thompson this offseason? A new report out there from Charania. And is LeBron James potentially going to team up with Bronny if the Mavericks draft him? A lot of juicy stuff to discuss as we are in the middle of the All-Star break. And speaking of which, Coop, can we get 200 likes on this video? I think we can.
The bosses told me if we don't get 200 likes on this video, we may have to stop doing daily videos during the week. So I need a challenge. I need help more than anything. Please hit that thumbs up icon if you like what you're seeing at Mavericks Today. And we'll get into today's show.
Could Klay Thompson be a Dallas Maverick this time next year? Let's discuss here on the show. Harrison Graham and Jeffrey Cooperstein. And Coop, it sounds like, according to Sham Charania, that Klay Thompson is going to hit the open market. He reports that Klay rejected a 2-year, $48 million extension from Golden State and now is going to test the open waters, which is certainly very interesting for a guy that many assumed would be a Warrior for life.
Yeah, Shams went on the Pat McAfee show and basically said that Klay is going to test free agency and he's going to have a lot of interest there on the open market. It's not been the easiest of years whatsoever for Klay. I would say it's been the hardest of his career to date. He was just benched in the starting lineup, and ironically enough, he had his best game of the season where he had 35 points off the bench for the Warriors, but he's averaging 17 this season, not shooting great from three by his standards. It's still pretty good. On almost 9 attempts per game. So Klay obviously isn't what he once was, where he was one of the best guard defenders in the league as well. He obviously lost a little bit of a step after he missed those 2 years to injuries with the ACL and the Achilles pretty much back-to-back. But I have to believe that Klay Thompson can still help a contending team even in his current state.
Yeah, I still think Klay can contribute. Here's my only question, though, Coop, is like, he's turning down $24 a year with Golden State. I mean, is some team throwing him $30 million a year? I guess it's possible, but
yeah,
I'm not doing that if I'm a contender. Like, if I'm the Mavericks and he wants $30 million a year, hey man, thanks for the meeting.
We'll see it. Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
See ya. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and Klay has kind of always been pretty steadfast on he wants to still be paid like he's a top 20 player in the league, and he has said that pretty much throughout. Even when the report came out around the beginning of the season when him and the Warriors were talking about a contract, he said that he feels like he deserves to be a max player still, and he's going to go try to find that on the open market. Not sure where he gets that, but like you said, if that's the case, the Mavs are priced out because they have no flexibility basically for at least the next 2 seasons in free agency. So if they were to get a Klay Thompson, it would have to be in a sign and trade, and I don't think the Mavs are giving up any assets in that scenario.
I mean, look, I appreciate Klay Thompson's career, but to me, he's kind of just like a 4 for 80 guy at this point. Like, I think he's a $20 million player, and
I think that extension that he rejected might be the most money he gets.
I absolutely believe that. Now, maybe some desperate team emerges and gives him 25, 26, but like, if you're turning down $24 million per year from the team you've played your entire career, to me, you're thinking you can get 30 plus. I don't see where he finds that.
Yeah,
unless he finishes the year on an absolute heater and Golden State goes on a nice run, I don't know where that comes from because he's not the efficient shooter that he once was. Still a decent to good shooter, and the defense is definitely not what it once was. So I don't really like if you're paying him $30 million, you're paying him just praying he becomes the player he was 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think Klay bet on himself before the season and thought, hey, I'm going to have a good season. I'll be able to go on the open market and get basically whatever I want. Well, it hasn't really worked out that way. They removed him from the starting lineup. He hasn't been closing games as of late as well, but maybe he has found a new role coming off the bench because that was the best he's ever looked. He hit 7 threes the other night in the Warriors' win, so maybe he can find that, but you're not paying 6 men $30 million a year.
It's also not just the play. It seems like he's frustrated. Like
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like probably not too long ago, Coop, he couldn't envision himself playing anywhere else, but I feel like now he might just be like, I'm just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, this run has run its course here. They paid Draymond. They're not going to pay me, so I'm just going to go somewhere else. But
he seems like a West Coast guy. His dad obviously played for the Lakers for a while, won a couple of championships there. But who knows? I don't know. I don't think the Lakers are really an opportunity for him given their cap situation. So I don't know what's going to happen with Klay. But if he's on the open market, I'm not sure he gets what he's looking for, so maybe the Mavs could be in play.
Yeah, could be interesting. Do you want the Mavericks to sign Klay, type S for sign, P for pass? I mean, look, if they flipped Tim Hardaway Jr. and paid Klay around what Tim's making, 18 to 20, like,
sure.
Even though Klay isn't what he was, I'd probably still take him over Tim just because he is a little bigger. He can guard threes in addition to twos. But, like, that's it. Like, I'm not giving him $25, $30 million per year. I don't think he's worth that. So, S for sign, P for pass if you want the Mavericks to sign Klay Thompson. All right, coming up, could LeBron and Bronny end up in Dallas next year? LeBron has a player option, could opt out and explore his options for the 24-25 season. We'll explore that, but first I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100 today. It's daily fantasy made easy. You can cross over sports with the NBA, college basketball, NHL, esports. 2 to 6 players, choose more or less in the stat projections with Prize Picks and start cashing out today. And we also have second half of the season more or less numbers. 7.5 30-plus point games for Kyrie. We're going to take more. 40-point games for Luka. 4.5 is the number. We're going to take more. And then I really like this one. Luka Doncic, 5.5 triple-doubles. We'll take more there as well. 10 to win 50 on this one. You can win up to 25 times your money on a 6-player entry. Again, get started right now. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. Okay, let's get to this LeBron, Bronny stuff, Coop. A lot to digest here. Recent report suggests that there's 2 mystery teams that LeBron would consider signing with if said team drafted Bronny James. Here's Marc Stein with the report, and Stein doesn't put out BS. He said, I know of at least 2 teams on the NBA map that believe LeBron would consider signing with them for less than $51.4 million if Bronny is on the roster. There might be more than those 2 teams. I think the Mavs are probably one of those for a couple reasons. One, a lot of Stein's scoops are Mavericks related.
Absolutely.
And 2, we know LeBron respects Luka. We know he and Kyrie have a tight relationship. Like, he might view Dallas, and by the way, Dallas, very easy to get to either coast. He can keep all his businesses going in L.A., and the Dallas-LA direct flight DFW hub is
there's a million of them.
Not difficult at all to
Not
deal
that LeBron's
with.
flying commercial.
No, but I mean, like,
I know what you're saying.
You know my point. Like, you could fly into Dallas, get there pretty quickly. No big deal whatsoever. I mentioned the Doncic stuff. Jason Kidd, too. It's a good point with him being a top assistant when the Lakers won a title a few years ago. Nico Harrison, Nike connection. Kyrie is here. Mavs are win now, and you could argue have a better chance moving forward than the Lakers do. And remember, Coop, Dallas picked up a second-round pick from Charlotte in that deal for Grant Williams. So you could use that pick to select Bronny James. And listen, some might call that a throwaway pick.
The Mavs have thrown away worse picks. They drafted Satnam Singh a few years ago.
Second round's is a crapshoot anyway. I wouldn't be opposed to drafting Bronny James. Now, look, should Bronny come out this year? Probably not. He should probably play at least another year in college. He's still just a few months from being medically cleared after having that cardiac arrest issue.
I'll say this. He can defend in the NBA right now. We've seen in the couple of games that he's played at USC that he can defend, and he has some length there. He's just very raw in the offensive end. He's not putting up great numbers over there in what is soon to be the defunct Pac-12. So I could see Bronny, being a project that some team takes on.
But if he's your 15th man that occasionally plays in Frisco and is selling jerseys for you, I mean, it's not like Markieff Morris is playing much. Like, there's worse ideas, is my point.
There absolutely are worse ideas, and now that Mark Cuban's obviously not as involved as he once was, but I got to believe that he would be someone that'd be very interested in this type of deal to bring one of, if not the greatest player to ever play the basketball game.
Think how many jerseys you would sell with not just LeBron jerseys, but I don't care if Bronny goes undrafted and signs a 2-way deal with his jersey will be a top 5 most sold jersey his first year in the league.
So if they're on the same team, does one say James and one say James Jr.?
Is he technically junior?
He is. He's LeBron James Jr.
I don't know.
Or do they just both say James with different numbers
just
on
James, and one will wear 23 and one will wear 6, I would guess.
I like that.
Look, LeBron is still, even if you're low on him at this point, top 15 at worst, still probably a top 10 player in this league. I mean, he's averaging 25, 7, and 8. The efficiency is there.
Shooting better from 3 than ever.
When he wants to lock in, he can. Obviously, he can't commit to doing that every single night on the defensive end, but look, he can still play. And if he's your second, third guy behind Luka and Kyrie, now, look, I'm very much in the camp of I don't think 3 max players works that well, but the report is you may not have to pay a max to get him. So it's interesting. I think the Mavs could be a team he'd be interested in. And if you pair those 3 together, Luka, Kyrie, and LeBron, and still have, Gafford and Hardaway and a couple of these role players, you could have something cooking next year.
At the ripe old age of 39, which is what LeBron just turned, he's still doing it, and I think he could still do it for at least 3 more years.
I give him a 2-year deal. 2 years, $80 million?
Sure. I mean, something like that. If he's going to decline that player option and sign for less, if Bronny's on that team, I got to believe the Mavericks have a legitimate shot at LeBron. I mean, we've said that before. The Mavs have kind of been in the running. Like back in 2014, they were one of 6 teams that actually got a meeting with LeBron, but nothing really came to fruition there.
It would be weird to see him play here just after all the years and
no doubt.
Some of the drama, but I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, you'd be crazy to say no to LeBron James on your team.
Oh, man. If it meant getting LeBron, would you draft Bronny? Why for yes and for no? Absolutely in the Mavs case because it's a second-round pick. Who gives a damn? If the Mavs had the 10th pick, I wouldn't do it. But
no,
if it's the 35th pick, I'm in.
If it's the 51st pick, I'm in. Exactly. If you have a chance to get LeBron, I think you do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, worst case scenario, you draft Bronny, you don't get Bron. Okay, you sell a bunch of jerseys and you try to develop Bronny, who his dad is one of the greatest players of all time. So it's not like it's a complete waste, regardless of what route you go. I do think he'd benefit from at least one more year in college. Again, he's still just getting back from that medical scare from the summer. It didn't get cleared until December, but it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. All right, he's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I am Harrison Graham.
This is going out on Sunday, so enjoy the All-Star game tonight. Luka Doncic, hopefully he goes off. Maybe he wins an All-Star game MVP. How about it?
Could be fun. Let's see what happens. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.